Hello, this is Beaton. Welcome to another fantastic episode of Friday Night Skype. Today we have our regular arsenal of LPers. We have the Johnny Cage.
Hello.
We have Genray.
I'm not here.
Pear Strike.
Hello.
And Liam 6.
Hello.
Now for our guest. He has, as of now, 81 subscribers and joined YouTube on July 17th of 2012. He has done such games as Final Fantasy I, Dawn of Souls, as well as Sonic the Hedgehog 06 for the Xbox 360. Current LPs are Unleashed, Sonic Unleashed, and Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which is very fitting for Halloween. And, yeah, his name is ArmageddonKaosSoul, so let's give him a hand.
Woo! I feel like that old man at the retirement home who, like, they're honoring him because he's the best at, like, fucking poker or whatever.
No, you're the old man at the retiring home we're honoring for finally retiring.
For getting out of our lives.
That time.
That was the "We're glad you're not dead" applause.
Yeah.
We're glad you're not dead. That goes over before you
It's
die.
really half-assed, but there's a little bit of meaning behind it.
Yeah.
So, I just want to ask you, why Sonic 06?
Yeah, what's up with
Why
that?
not Sonic 06? I live in America, the country of free will, which permits me to do whatever I want, including mutilate myself.
I wasn't
which,
prepared for that answer.
No, in reality, that was probably one of probably the third or fourth first episode kind of pilot I recorded. Ironically enough, one of which was Sonic Unleashed and another was Symphony of the Night. The reason why I did those next, and I believe the one before it, the first one I tried to record was, I want to say, it was probably like Majora's Mask or something. I don't know. Anyway, but I just couldn't come up with like a good like first impression type video. I couldn't just get really into it because I had to do a lot of explaining, and it was all games that I just know everyone has already played. So I kind of thought, like, well, you know, what if I started with a game that I didn't have to explain anything, and I could just be like, you know, just rip the game apart. So I went with Sonic 06. And I mean, and the thing is, because I'm not showing it off for demonstrative purposes for anyone to want to play it, I'm showing it off to show, you know, so people can get the experience of how poorly made it is without having to play it. So I really just got to kind of jump in the sack and just, you know, fire at will at this game without having to explain mechanics or anything, which was very nice. It was a pretty good way to ease myself into LPing.
Wow, I wish I did something like that.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah. God, what have I done?
Doing with my life.
Yeah, you really
What have I been doing? Like there was a part of me that was just like, I really hope I don't say anything stupid on this, and I've managed to, like, I don't want to say dumbfound. That makes me sound like a prick, but yeah, that's not a terrible word, I guess.
But it seems like you're a really big fan of Sonic, though, because you're also playing Sonic Unleashed.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't consider myself a Sonic fan. I would consider myself, like, I really just like any game that's well made. And Sonic Unleashed is one of these games that I think is rather well made as well as extremely fun. It's no masterpiece, but it's in my favorites. But, I mean, I only recently played the Sonic Adventures, so by default, I'm not a Sonic fan.
Oh,
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
all right.
See, Johnny, those are the types of Sonic games you need to play, because they have just pure speed.
Well, I'm playing Sonic 1. I think that Sonic 1 would be pure speed. But no,
Well,
it's
Sonic-
not.
play the Sonic
It's
Adventures.
speedy. It's pretty speedy.
Sonic Adventures is just so weird. I don't know. I couldn't get into that.
Yeah.
I got it for free with my Dreamcast when I bought it. And
Don't you understand blast processing?
blast processing.
Yeah, blast processing.
Sega does what Nintendo don't. I get that. All right.
Sega does what Nintendo don't.
Waiting for Sega to make one? Nintendo has no CD.
Oh man, yeah. Disc
Great
drive.
catchphrase.
Anyhow, Sonic. I'll play Sonic 2 eventually though, because I hear that one's a lot better.
I know I
Yeah,
played
yeah,
Sonic
yeah.
1, but I don't think I've ever played Sonic 2.
A lot of people
I'm
were
a
telling
Sonic
me
fan.
like that or Sonic CD are like the two best.
Yeah, here's Sonic
Sonic,
CD's really good.
Sonic CD is probably my favorite 2D one, just because it's the most. I don't know. It's the most diverse. I like having an objective that isn't just run to the right and and keep running to the right.
But those are the best objectives. The side scroll ones.
I mean, obviously, like, the objective is there for you. It's literally like you have one direction, go there. But I don't know, I kind of like having to do a lot more before I just reach the end, especially in a game like Sonic where levels can last a minute if you're fast at them.
Yeah, I was getting a lot of comments like about doing more exploration in levels, and I'm like, I don't know when I'm getting to the end of the levels, or else I might do more exploration, but I don't know where to go. And
Exactly.
then
And the other problem is that there are these big multi-layered, like, 2D segments as opposed to, like, Mario, which is rather which is just a straight shot. So it's a bit hard to figure out where you're going. It's pretty genius in design, but it's pretty confusing overall.
Faux show.
I've only played the Sonic Adventure game, so I don't know.
The Sonic, I would love the Sonic Adventure games more if their friggin' presentation wasn't so.
Honestly, that's what makes them so great.
Nah.
Yeah, well, I mean the norm factor. It's like Resident Evil, but with a hedgehog. I mean, it's pretty good.
Sure.
It's like Resident Evil, but with a hedgehog. That's how you summarize Sonic?
I think this
Put me some motherfucking Sonic games.
I would play that.
Yeah, I would play
too.
I would play that.
Need to get out of Hedgehog City!
I'll stick to Sonic Spinball, thank you very much. For the Game Gear, no less.
Sir, I believe I have to crucify you now.
No, they're great.
Sonic Spinball.
Sonic Spinball.
Is that the pinball one? Because I fucking love that.
That is the pinball one.
Sonic Spinball. It's basically a Sonic platformer, but in pinball form.
It's brilliant.
That was in... I used to rent, Sonic games, and that was in one of them. I don't know. It was in, a pack.
It was the Dreamcast version, or the GameCube version of Sonic Adventure.
Yeah. Yeah, that might have been it. It was
Freaking
great.
awesome game. Let me tell you though, there weren't a lot of super awesome games I remember playing for the Game Gear, but that was one of them. So
Game Gear wasn't exactly a very good system.
Oh,
Not
no.
exactly.
A friend of mine just found her Game Gear. She found it broken. Those things apparently die over time.
Oh, I should try. I didn't even check to see if mine works. I still got it, but it's like I do have.
I still have my old TurboGrafx.
Oh, nice TurboGrafx. That'd be cool.
I still have my old N64.
Oh.
Yeah, everyone still has their old N64s, Tubby.
Yeah. I bought a new one.
Wow.
I don't even know what you look like. I just called you Tubby.
Jeez.
I immediately like you now.
Man, Liam's gonna kick your ass. He's got a Kabuto,
He's gonna swing it.
But not a Kabuto.
Isn't that like a Omni something?
Something, close it up.
No, it's totally Kabuto.
What are they
Okay.
called in that game? What type is a Kabuto? Is it just normal?
Rock, water.
Rock, water.
Rock water.
This
Rock,
escalated quickly.
So, I mean, quite literally, if they made it a
Oh.
rock monster, it would make sense.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Boy.
Really, really fast.
That escalated quickly, really, really fast. That
Did you
just
guys,
sums about the
you guys
experience.
know?
That's all,
I know,
folks.
but you guys know that movie that I'm referencing?
No,
No.
I-
Anchorman?
Oh,
Yeah.
yay!
Yeah.
Man.
Well, Anchorman is the inventor that escalated quickly, but I don't remember the same.
Paul, you know I have never seen any movies. You know.
I know. You've seen
Liam
Wayne's
gave
World,
up
and
on
that's really
movies
all that
years
matters in
ago.
my
Dude,
heart.
Wayne's World is so good. It actually parodies the ending of The Graduate.
Yep,
Yeah.
I can quote any line from Wayne's World.
Yeah, you
Wayne's
can.
World has a shot of the original Sonic, so that's even.
Can you do the Mr. Scream?
That's right. That's Wayne's World.
Oh, it gets me every time.
Wayne's World, the end.
So good.
So, I'm sorry.
It's like Wayne's World in 5 seconds. That voice, just the end.
Ah! Oh,
See you next week, folks.
good one. Let's wrap it up. Back it on up, boys. That's it.
That's a wrap.
I'm glad to see you were so prepared with so many questions, B-Dude. So many of them.
You said I just need to make an intro.
Oh.
Anyways, okay, so what would be your favorite Castlevania game of all time?
I mean, while I'm playing Symphony of the Night, and it's just I was slogging through it a bit. I decided on Aria of Sorrow, and I started playing Aria of Sorrow, and I realized I didn't like collecting souls, so it's back to Symphony of the Night. It's just it kind of screams. There was an era in gaming when it was a lot less about one objective, like getting from sex to more sex, like it is in these games. It was about you could very well reach the end of the game at any point, but why would you do that when you could just keep building your hero to be the strongest thing it could be? And I mean, it showed in PlayStation 1 games like Brave Fencer Musashi and Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and even games like Super Metroid or Legend of Zelda, where you could get to the end and you could just do the bare minimum, but why would you do that when you can literally just become the ultimate force and just mow down all the enemies in sight? And I really did love that option of being allowed to just go straight to the top or work your way up there, basically building up at every turn. And there were no plot barriers. Your plot barriers were, well, what abilities and relics do you have? And do you have the gravity boots? Great, you can enter the next area. Do you not? Well, you better go get them. And I mean, and that's how the story progressed. There was no plot-driven points. It's pretty good, and it's hard to write a script like that, or like a sequence of events like that, but they did it very well. So I would have to say, definitely Symphony of the Night. I mean, it's compelled by the story that's clearly there, but the story is really a backseat to the adventure, which is something I greatly respect.
I've always been a really big fan of Castlevania 64.
Castlevania 64. Castlevania, like, the only reason I really love Castlevania 64 is because it's so accurate to Bram Stoker's original novel.
I just don't like the jumping in it.
The final
so
boss
good.
is my favorite in Legacy of Darkness, a millipedic, like, fire-breathing, nuclear bomb-throwing dragon. You can't get much better than that.
You prance around the whole game. It's great.
Like, you just jump around the entire game and you look like just this gay little fag in a meadow.
That's the first game. Well, that's the second game I got with my N64 recently.
What was your...
Wow.
I have no idea.
It's Star Fox.
Stairfax.
Fax temperatures.
Star Fox Adventures was slated to become Stairfax Temperatures.
Great game.
Ah, you get the reference.
Of course.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
It's a common question. So, what is your favorite game of all time? 10 seconds or defaults to ET or Superman 64?
I'm gonna have to go with Majora's Mask on that. Though, actually, no, Catherine.
Catherine.
Catherine,
So
yeah.
an Atlas game. How is Catherine?
Catherine is phenomenal, honestly. I mean, unfortunately, what I mentioned about Castlevania doesn't apply, but it is very heavily story-driven, but it's a compelling story. And it's one of the few times in which my hero is enough of a douchebag that everything unfolds, but he's enough of a sympathetic hero that I actually care what happens to him. They did a pretty good job writing Vincent Brooks, and I mean, like, even Catherine, who is a psychopath, is still oddly attractive and, you know, and alluring, even though, once again, she's a psychopath.
Some guys like the psychopath.
So choosing her, like, you know, like, it's not like you're going to marry Catherine, the homely, stockly, like, dowdy, glasses-wearing chick, just because the other one's a psychopath, and you're like, well, I got to settle now. No, one Catherine's nurturing, the other Catherine's adventurous, and I mean, and it covers a lot of male sexual fantasies, so they did a great job writing that, and instead of it being in the direction of all men are perverts, it's more like all men who are perverts are insecure or have had dark pasts, and it really did blow the lid on a lot of common perceptions of male sexuality.
Some of the moral choices that you have to make in that game are just really awesome and spot on, and they're really tough to make.
Like one of my favorite is, would you rather kiss a beautiful corpse or an alien-like cephalopod? And it's like, well,
None of those words made sense.
yeah,
He's using the big
would you rather
words.
kiss a corpse that looks fantastic, but it's fucking dead, or would you rather kiss like an alien
Corpse.
who doesn't look human at all?
Corpse.
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 Yeah, and you'd be
Necrophilia.
and he'd just cut you up with a knife.
When in doubt, go with C. There's only two options. No!
You sound like my accounting teacher.
You sound like my ex-wife, Deborah.
Oh no! Is that your third
It was a
ex-wife,
nice
Deborah?
lady.
She was a nice woman.
My third
Why don't you
ex-wife.
settle down with a nice woman, B-dude?
I did.
Exactly.
Actually, I'm the only one who has settled down, as far as I know.
Well, yeah, he's the only one of us. I probably shouldn't be. I'm 16, so.
He does live in the tundra, though.
He
What's that
does.
got to do with anything? So does Liam.
He lives
Canada
in the...
represent.
Yeah, but you live in like the middle of nowhere, Canada, in like this tiny little log cabin that's constantly being hit by a blizzard.
Like, just.
I don't think
like,
Liam lives that far away from me. He lives in the same thing.
I
No,
think-
I live as far south as I could
them
possibly live in
cabin,
Canada, but
and,
still
like,
be in
the
Canada.
dude, like, walks home. He's like, "Good morning, Grandma. How are you?" Like, his grandma's like, friggin' the woman from Psycho, like, just a skeleton, like, by the fire. Her arm falls off. He's like, "Glad to hear you're still holding out."
I'm starting to get the impression you really, really like horror films. Except Psycho's not a horror film; that's more a comedy.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of horror. I love horror
And
films.
why not talk about horror films? It's the time of the year anyway, so...
Heck,
It's
this is my-
Halloween.
It's Halloween.
Look at that! Look at that segue! Brilliant!
Halloween.
That was
Hey man,
pretty
we got a big hurricane coming to New Jersey. I'm just saying.
Dude, like the hurricane that like it's coming towards us. Like I was kind of worried about it. Like, don't worry, it's New Hampshire's problem. I'm like, okay, cool.
I have on the way to New Hampshire. Thanks.
Exactly. So, nice knowing you. I will now do that cross thing Christian people do.
Oh, that thing.
You mean-
Yes, of course that.
Oh yes, that.
Oh,
Yeah, like that thing across the, you know, like forehead,
Pray.
like, shoulder.
You mean pray?
Does he mean pray?
Yeah.
Is that what he's...
I'm Jewish. I don't know much about.
Yeah, it means. I went to Catholic school for 6 years, so yeah, and I was religious.
Wow.
Yeah,
Are
that's
you talking about
he's
the
praying.
Father, Son, Holy Ghost thing?
So at
Yeah.
least I know two things about Liam now. One, Liam knows a bit more about religion than I do, and two, since he went to Catholic school, he must be good at masturbation. That's all I need to know.
Who wouldn't want to be as good as Liam at masturbation? It's where he generates his power!
He becomes powerful from the masturbation.
It reminds me of the Energizer Bunny.
Just like, all of a sudden, like, you just hear Liam during an LP, it's like, hold on, I'm getting tired.
That's really Pear's thing more than anyone else's.
Yeah, really. I think
All
I
right,
ever
ready to go.
just made a sandwich halfway through my LP video.
What?
Like, just all of a sudden, you just start going,
Yeah, that's it.
Love how I get picked on for this.
Because Udo wasn't here, so he'd
No, it's
be
alright.
the next one. He'd be like,
I would do it too.
you talk to him for a little bit, and he's like, what are you doing, Udo? Masturbating.
just cranking it a little, you know.
Guess we'll leave you alone.
Old fashioned.
I don't know, it's cool, I'm just watching some Asian porn. Okay.
Oh yeah, he was the Asian guy, right?
Yeah, he's the Asian guy.
That's
He's
right.
the
Alright.
Asian guy? Is that what we decided?
He's
not
not really
Asian.
the
He's
Asian
just
guy.
He says into Asians. He was, I couldn't remember if he was really drunk or really high one time, but he gave me his credit card number.
Those are the options. He
Wanted to give me, or he gave me his credit card number over Skype so that I could get him a Asian mail order bride.
Wow,
True
did it
story.
work?
True story.
We were scanning for a little bit, then I was like, probably shouldn't.
Yeah,
Let's
you
go
just
buy
gave me-
stuff.
But you
I'm
just
telling you,
gave
be a
me
good
Skype
friend.
number, So now you could do a whole lot with that.
If I gave Duvin my credit card, I don't even know what he would do. Probably
But don't trust me
No.
with credit card numbers. I have no idea how a credit card even works. Like,
Oh no,
It's mostly
Dubin would probably buy like, I don't know, just a bunch of sex dolls. Like gilfs.
it's like just all of a sudden, like, a guy would come. It's like, I got a package. It says order of 24 male and female gimps. Yeah, bring him in.
That's a lot of gimps.
That's a lot of gimps. That's a lot of Chris's blood.
I saw this Strange Addiction episode where this old couple in Ireland, I think it was, had like the world's largest real sex doll collection. It was so weird.
God.
They didn't even use them like for sex. It was like a way of them bonding as like a couple. Like we didn't
Like,
used to
just-
do anything
we
before
both
this,
like-
but now
we
we
both
take
like
care of this
glove
army
dolls
of
who barely
sex
look like
dolls.
people.
I don't
Like
know. They're
glove dolls who barely look like people in this.
yeah,
you know.
they're really creepy. You know, like Uncanny Valley kind of thing.
Yeah, oh yeah, by the way, we went to that new Fantasyland opening, and there's like a little, my mom works at Disney. Anyway, there's like a little mermaid ride. She is so far into the Uncanny Valley, that robot.
That
It's actually
creeps the hell out of me. If I see anything like that in my house ever,
Yeah, those
I beat it to
animatronics,
death.
like, I was
Yeah, I
looking
don't
at them
like
today, I'm like, did I not, like, have chronic bedwetting as a kid from, like...
It's like if you ever saw that
I'm
movie.
glad you actually brought up Uncanny Valley. I've never actually heard anyone else say that in real-time
Yeah,
speech.
I
other than
did.
myself.
I did.
No, like, well,
it's a lot of
the
fun.
other thing many of you probably don't know about me is I want to pursue writing, screenwriting as a career, so I read a lot of TV tropes.
Gotcha,
Pretty much, I've already started learning Japanese because I know if I can't become a writer in America, Japan will definitely open their
Go
arms.
to Japan. It's lots of fun and it's a crazy place and you'll love it.
I've been to
I wanna
Japan.
go
It's
so
pretty
bad.
sick.
Oh, really?
pretty
You've been to Japan?
Yeah.
Another person that's been to Japan. How did you enjoy it?
I mean, I liked it. The only problem was I actually didn't like Akihabara as much as I thought I would.
Really? Oh my god, I loved Akihabara.
But I mean, but the problem was we accidentally walked into a sex shop.
Oh, that could happen.
Yeah, and I was, here I was, like, little 15-year-old boy, like, I just figured out how a vagina works.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden, like, I walk into this hentai shop, and I'm just
tentacles.
Yeah. And I'm just being assaulted by, like, imagery of, like, that I've never seen before in my
Jeez, no
life.
wonder you like Catherine.
That would make sense.
Maybe like deep down inside, like that moment turned me into a covert, like perverted man. So now just anything sexual, I'm just
See,
like, oh yeah.
that sounds
I
like-
appreciate
That
the-
moment turned you into
I
a real
appreciate
man.
the literary value. Oh yeah. Literary
Oh, my
value.
God.
Oh yeah, the art is so fantastic.
Oh yeah.
See, that sounds like-
that art style.
It sounds like my experience in Las Vegas because I was 16 when I was there, and I definitely could not appreciate that for all it was worth.
That's basically Chuck Conroy's Okami LP in like 1 second. Art direction.
Art direction.
Art direction. Oh, art direction.
Well, I don't need to watch it now.
Fantastic.
I don't know. Akihabara, though, that was awesome. When we got there, I was like, holy
I do like
shit.
Akihabara, and they
maid
had this
cafes
new,
and fuck.
Dragon Quest game that was coming out.
4?
It's a Japanese exclusive, and we were thinking about buying a Japanese Wii so I could get it, but I knew I would never beat that game if I did. We actually saw Pokemon Black and White 6 months before it came to America, and I had no idea what it was. Like, I knew it was Pokemon, but I couldn't tell what it was.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
It's a good game. I'm enjoying it.
I'm not a fan of Pokemon, so, like...
Oh,
I hate you already.
You've known me for like for the past hour and a half, and you suddenly hate me.
We make
right?
rash
Call me
decisions
Tubby.
around here. You did insult Liam. I mean, you insulted the man.
Yeah, like it's not that I dislike Pokemon. I'm not an RPG player by any standards. Like my favorite RPG of all time is Mother 3 Earthbound.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
We were going to say Earthbound.
Dude,
Everyone says
Earthbound is great. Like it's just a satirical version of our Earth, and it deals with a lot of like serious issues with humor, which is something that I think more games should do. One reason I respect Brave Fencer Musashi was also it handled history with a dose of humor. For example, like there's an in-joke where Kojiro's like, I can't forgive you for the scar that you gave me on his forehead, and that's actually a reference to when Musashi beat Kojiro's head in with an oar. And of course they didn't mention it, but like it's funny if you get it, and if you don't, it seems so innocent and lighthearted.
You do know a lot of the developers who made Earthbound went on to make Pokemon, right?
Yeah, I mean they moved on. Game Freak wasn't Ape and Game Freak weren't they pretty
merged.
tight? Yeah. I mean, and it's not that once again I don't dislike Pokemon. It's just Earthbound was written by Shigesato Itoi, so that's
understandable. I just, whenever I get to the part, I have a friend of mine who just sort of walks me through it just 'cause. So I'm playing it, and he'll be like, yeah, Mark. So, and he'll be like, okay, so now you have to go grind for a while. And I'm like, I really don't want to do that. But as we speak, I'm grinding in Final Fantasy X and loving it, so...
Yeah, well,
maybe
the thing is,
just
a fun combat system can really make your grinding a lot less annoying. Like, Mother 3, I didn't find grinding annoying at all because of
Mother 3. Mother 3
combos.
is really good.
I gotta get back to
just-
that eventually.
Yeah.
We'll see.
You know what's actually another game that I never found grinding to be tedious, which is surprising considering its just generally tedious nature?
What?
I never found, what's that game called? I never found grinding in Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest to be particularly bad.
There are only 6
You are
levels
very
in the game.
weird.
I have it. I don't play it.
Well,
I mean,
Oh,
it's not like one of these games that I sit down and play once a month. I've probably only beaten it twice in my life.
our good friend Ryan Phoenix just did a Let's Play of it for October, and that was the first time I had really seen it beaten.
Let's tour.
Yeah,
Castle.
Let's Tours. And that was the first time I'd ever really seen it beaten, because obviously it's got a bad rap. It was, after all, the Angry Video Game Nerd's first video ever.
Yeah,
I mean,
that kinda
honestly,
says something.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot, but I can totally see why people don't. I played it at a time when I had walkthroughs and the internet, and people who bought the game played it at a time when they just had to figure out everything by the seat of their own wit. And I even bet you, people who are absolutely psycho wouldn't have figured out half the puzzles in that game.
That's what I say about people that, discovered all the secrets in the original Legend of Zelda. It's like, holy shit. What?
Well,
yeah.
The original Legend of
I
Zelda.
needed a walkthrough.
Okay, I'm gonna blow your fucking minds. You ready for this?
I'm
call
going to be doing it blind.
the NP conspiracy. Basically, The Legend of Zelda came out only 1 month before, before Nintendo Power became a big deal. And the reason was they had a cover that said, "All the secrets of Legend of Zelda revealed."
Yeah, that's...
Wow.
that's-
It was made to make a Nintendo Power a household name.
But I don't think
And
they
it-
ever did. Did they ever do an actual strategy guide for it? Because when Nintendo Power first
They
started
have
out...
an actual strategy guide for Nintendo or for the game, which I'm sure a lot of people bought. But
Well, because when, Nintendo Power first started out, they weren't doing just, the magazine every month. They were doing it, every other month. And I think every other issue was a strategy guide. It wasn't just, an issue of the magazine.
yeah, exactly. And now it's got character profiles and articles.
Oh, yeah, well, it's changed a lot.
Yeah.
I still got a bunch of them sitting on my shelf. I love those.
I mean, it's
Unfortunately,
gonna-
the
it's
magazine
discontinued
ending
very
in
soon.
December, which kind of
Yeah,
sucks.
speaking of which, when is the last issue?
December.
December, yeah.
Gotta make sure to get that.
Yeah, we probably should get it. Just
But, I mean, we're gamers. We kind of we're like
It's just
half
symbolic.
we really do owe a lot to Nintendo Power. As a
A
whole.
lot
I mean,
of-
former tips and tricks wouldn't exist without it. I mean,
no, I was
Exactly.
when I was getting ready to do my Let's Play of Star Tropics, I sat there in front of the TV with the strategy guide from Nintendo Power to Star Tropics playing through.
you didn't
it.
know we had Star Tropics? I gotta watch that. I love Star
Did
Tropics.
guidebooks exist before Nintendo Power?
No, they did exist. There was an official Zelda guidebook, but
Oh, okay.
it wasn't mainstream or one of those things.
Because technically, guidebooks are the first LPs. Just saying.
Yeah, they really were. If you want to be technical, the first, you could really go with, the first LPs were just two friends sitting down playing a game together. It's
Yeah, I mean, what's it really boiled down to?
Yeah, like what's it really boiled down to? Like that's the reason NCS was so rapidly popular, was he wasn't like this guy who was like trying to do a walkthrough. He was like your cool uncle playing video games with you, and that
and that's why we love him.
And to me, like I kind of aspired to be that. Like I want to like be like that guy who
want to be my cool
like that
uncle.
cool friend you don't have at school who gets this.
Yeah, I'd rather you just be my cool uncle.
I just be my cool uncle.
Well, I mean, it's also good because NCS isn't like really creepy because he could be your cool weird uncle. Like
he could be very creepy. Very fast.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
he can be very creepy, but he's not like creepy like, hey, want to see a magic trick? Like one of those guys.
Yeah. No,
But he does say that sometimes.
Yeah,
He does, but it's a cool magic trick.
No, and one of my
An actual magic trick.
the first time he did it, like I didn't know how to react was like when he's just like during his Final Fantasy LP, he's like, hold on, and you just hear like, and I'm just like, did that really just happen? Did he just like fart live on camera?
At least
He does that all the time now.
Yeah. No, and like,
He'll
and now
edit out
every
his
LP he's
burps
just
and
like,
he'll
"Oh,
edit out his hiccups, but he won't edit out his farts, which is just great. It's a great.
I love that. No, remember in Banjo-Tooie when he wouldn't edit out him blowing his nose?
No, I
Maybe I didn't watch that. I watched the beginning of it, but after that,
I only watched it because I'd never seen Banjo-Tooie before, until my 15th birthday when I got the games. But I just remember like he did it and he just left a message saying, "This is just begging to get Retsu Parade." And by doing that, they couldn't touch it, or else it wouldn't have been funny. Like,
don't. Yeah.
yeah.
Smart. I'd love to say shame on you for not playing the Banjo games earlier, but I hadn't either, so...
Yeah, I ended up playing Banjo-Kazooie, and I loved it, and I ended up playing Banjo-Kazooie, and I loved it, but not the same.
Banjo-Kazooie is the perfect.
Yeah, Banjo-Kazooie is probably one of the closest things to the perfect game. Like, Ocarina of Time is pretty damn perfect as well, but I would say that's honestly the perfect adventure game, and hell, even Majora's Mask might be up there. But Banjo-Kazooie might just be the perfect game. Like, it really
That's very funny, because Banjo-Kazooie is my favorite game of all time. Ocarina of Time is Liam's favorite game of all time, and then you and Majora's Mask. So
Majora's Mask is Jack's favorite game of all time.
Yes, it is.
I mean, like
there you go.
the thing is, I'd be willing to call Catherine one of the most perfect games ever made, because really it's got a perfect blend of story driven and everything, but I don't think it has enough appeal to people who aren't into story driven games, so it's really
This may be it.
it did win a shit ton of awards though. Like that's the thing, like it won award for like best interface, best music, best graphics, best story, best surprise.
This might be a backwards question, but have you at all watched Super Genius's Persona LP, or are you at all interested?
I never really watched Persona, his Persona 3 LP, just because I never like. I'm not saying Super Genius is a bad LPer. In fact, I really see nothing wrong with him. I just don't watch him for some reason. But I didn't. So obviously by proxy, I didn't watch it. But I did watch one episode, and I'm like, this is pretty damn good. Why don't I watch these regularly? And the answer is, I don't know.
I was just gonna say that about that game because it's just like that. It's such a great.
Well, it's made by Atlas too.
Well, Atlas does everything right. I mean, like the only game he did.
They're like old rare.
A lot of flack was Rule of Rose, and I mean
the only game that I didn't like that I'm pretty sure is Atlas is a game called Dual Hearts.
I'm gonna look that up.
Oh, I know what it is. I know. I
That
think
was
you know.
really, really weird.
Was that? No, I don't know.
Yeah, it's made by Atlas. You are correct.
Yeah, it was a weird game. I didn't get it. My sister got it, so she played it, and I was just like, I don't understand what I'm trying to do here.
Yeah, it apparently the plot begins with a treasure hunter named Rumble learning about a treasure, the Dreamstone, on Sono Island, and set out for it. This is just Japanese. Like literally, dream creature called Baku is summoned by Dream Queen. They both come to the same island, and after a strange twist of fate, become partners. Bakus can exist both within the dream world and the real world, and Rumble uses Tumble to travel into different people's dreams, searching for the dream orbs. Both of their dreams become nightmares full of dangerous monsters. This is the Japanesest thing. That is the most Japanese thing I've seen.
My sister and I rented it, and I was expecting something like a cross between Yu-Gi-Oh! And Kingdom Hearts, but I was way off.
Yeah, well,
I mean, think about Dual Hearts.
It's got enough Hakugans to fill.
It filled that void, but it didn't fill very much else.
It filled the void of all the Bakus that were missing in my heart.
Bakugan.
So why is the game not called Alundra 2?
Come again?
I said, why is this game not called Alundra 2? That's what it sounds
I
like.
don't know. Like it really should just be called like Psychonauts, the prequel version made in Japan. Inception before Inception.
Scribblenauts, the prequel.
Scribbles.
Oh, Psychonauts.
Oh, I know. I just
Okay.
Made a
Psychonauts,
punny.
astronauts, astronauts, cosmonauts, raponauts.
Raponauts.
Oh,
Those are actually a thing.
Reason off the ring.
Have any of you ever played Bait and Kaidos?
I've heard it's great, but I've never played it.
It's a weird system that they do, but it works out really well.
I've seen. Yeah, well, there you go. You're Canadian. You just said out. Anyway, or out. Anyway, I've seen it, but I haven't played it.
It's hard to
Wait,
describe how it works. Basically,
can you say boot for me?
boot.
Boot.
I can say dragon. Apparently, I say that weird.
Dragon.
Dragon.
Reagan.
Boot.
I don't know, it's-
Dragon! Johnny Cage!
I've never heard someone say a boot other than "Can you pass me a boot?"
No, like on that. What was that show? Like that Nickelodeon sketch
No,
show.
not.
Yeah. Like
Keenan and Kel.
they would always say a boot.
Oh, yeah, don't...
I say.
Oh, yeah.
what was-
Oh yeah, and
Say
on
a
South
boot,
Park,
on
South Park in the episode "Canadians on Strike," Senator Bootman.
I say a boot ironically all the time. But
Dude, like half the things I say are ironic, which is probably the reason. Like, so all of my friends like love that I say things ironically. Anyone who dislikes me thinks I'm saying it genuinely, which is why I have a rather split fan base.
I lost my ring of sarcasm, so now people are like, "Oh, you were so serious," but I'm like, "Sure."
Yeah, like I once started talking about the movie Pitch Perfect, and I said it would have been less offensive if I rounded up all the poor people and fucked them in the ass with the amount of money they spent on that movie, because I despise that film, and everyone was just like, "Dude, there's no need to get so angry." I'm like, I'm not angry, like. I'm just trying to be aggressive because I hated the film so much.
Just go see Wreck-It Ralph. It'll make it all better for you.
Wreck-It Ralph seems like it'd be really good. You're correct.
Yeah, I can about I just want to say
If you want to see a good movie,
those 6
look up
lines
Birdemic.
of Sonic.
Oh yeah, no, I love Birdemic. It's so bad.
Okay, you're
It's
gonna
like the power.
you're gonna think I'm weird right now, but if you want to see a good movie, you gotta watch fucking Frankenweenie. I'm not gonna lie, it was good.
I heard it's good.
I've seen the 1960 version of Frankenweenie.
I took my girlfriend to see it, and she cried 3 times.
You cried.
I didn't know what to do.
What do I do? Consult the
You don't
handbook.
know what to-
Consult the
ooh,
handbook.
That's rough.
It was awesome. No, it was awesome. It's such a good movie. It's pretty
I
hilarious.
heard that Paranorman was apparently pretty good too. I don't know if
My
anyone
Yeah,
sister
it's
loved
that too. Paranorman's
the
like
Let's-
Wallace and Gromit, and then Frankenweenie's like Nightmare Before Christmas.
I heard Led Zeppelin movie concert thing was really good.
Ooh.
I went to that. I was one of the only 20 people in town who went to
Well,
it.
you know the thing when they ever do like the special stuff on that, whether it be like some sort of like anime movie that they're showing like one night only in the theater near you.
Ponyo.
You know, it's like, where is this theater? I would love to go see this stuff. Like when Star Trek: The Next Generation came out on Blu-ray, it's like, I love Star Trek: The Next Generation. I'd love to see it in a movie theater. It's like, you're never gonna find that movie theater, man.
It's like it's honestly like this hide and go seek like game of. Can you find where this movie theater is playing? If you can, you get to watch the most average experience.
I remember going way out of my way, going down to a movie theater in the heart of Chicago to watch Cowboy Bebop, the movie, when that came out, just because I needed to see
was
that.
it good?
Yeah, it was
Really?
freaking awesome. It was amazing.
I need to watch that. Oh, I just started watching Beelzebub. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, but
No.
I didn't know there was a movie called Beelzebub. Have any of you guys seen El Topo?
Nope.
No.
It's basically okay. Well, first of all, it's it's the film that inspired Student 51 to make No More Heroes. So you know it's got to be.
Yeah, it's got a lot of style
According
and no
to-
substance.
Yeah, according to testimonials of the director of the film, he said he fed his actors acid before they started working.
That's illegal.
Yeah, I don't think that's true, but I'm sure it was just one of those Trey Parker, Matt Stone-esque jokes.
I know about illegal. I'm in machinima.
and you can't feed LSD.
I used to do machinima, but
Pat.
I really hated it, so I stopped.
Yeah, I hate machinima too.
Speaking of machinima, a quick story is that I found a bunch of the machinima directors doing the Gangnam Style dance, and I did not see Liam on there, and I was sad.
You didn't see who there?
Liam. I watched like a 15-minute video looking for Liam Six.
Yeah, because Liam would be all over that.
Oh, because
Liam would get up on that shit like a $2 whore. Like,
He would dance like a white Canadian boy.
They were all white.
is there any better dancer on this earth?
I say no.
in all reality, I'm
They
not to be fair, I'm not a director. I'm just a partner.
It's true.
I'm not.
Ron Burgundy says no.
So,
I have this theory that if you move your arms more while you dance, the better you look.
Really like you're having a seizure.
Coming from the white Canadian, B dude, best dancer in the world.
Also, it helps if you don't wear that many clothes.
it helps if you don't wear that many clothes.
V-Dude will be starring
Just-
5.
I believe there is a system to this. Now, people like us who will have to work hard all of our lives and prove our ingenious and greatness until we can eventually receive a spot in the back of the Hall of Fame next to the vending machine. People who take off their tops will receive their spot in the Hall of Fame right at the front of the door.
I don't
Okay.
think that applies to me.
Well, of course it doesn't apply to you.
I wear a suit and drink a lot of beer. I'm doing great.
See, the thing is, we're all decently attractive, unless you're Liam Six, because I called him Tubby, and I'm sorry. Anyway, we are probably all decently attractive, but that still means that we're not going to have an easy life. No, definitely not. No, our lives are going to be full of misery and suffering. Well,
You're really bringing me down.
Yeah,
man.
dude, you're being really
I know,
philosophical for only being 16. Let me put it straight for you, all right? Put a business suit on, walk into a building, don't take shit from no one, and you're going places, all right?
Don't
Yeah.
give a shit if you don't have.
have you guys ever seen Horrible Bosses?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite part of that movie is the opening line when he's just like, "My grandmother came to America with only $200, but by the time she died, she turned it into 2,000. That sucks." Like,
Yeah. Well, don't stop believing, I guess.
don't stop living and don't take shit from no one. The morals you've learned today. Good night, kids. Da, 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 da.
I have a theory that I can live financially secure and not work for the rest of my life if I die next Wednesday.
I have
Why would that be?
I have a plan where I can live financially secure for the rest of my life and not have a job if I win the lottery.
Valid.
Oh, yeah, like my parents are pretty big on playing the lottery, and like I'm pretty sure they're fully not expecting to win. They just like having the ability to.
Hey, B dude, Lotto Max is 50 million today. Did you buy a ticket?
No, I didn't, but I have seen billboards, and I to think about buying a ticket, and then I'm like, oh, I want to win the lottery, but I don't want to make the trip.
Personally,
That's
like all I know is wait. So like is like $5 million in Canada like $4 here?
No,
It's like
five-
5 point something dollars, or 5 point something $million, because I think the Canadian dollar is stronger right now, isn't it?
Right now, I did my economics.
There you go.
Yeah, I actually thought that your dollar was stronger than ours. Most dollars, except for like pesos, and yen, still are.
Yeah, still.
Yeah.
When I went to
Yeah.
went to Japan, I got screwed on my conversion. I think I got like 87 cents per dollar. So
Shit.
That's not even close to like how much it actually is worth too, which is
The gas prices.
just kind of proves that you suck.
that I sucked because I went there and had to deal with
What?
the conversion rate.
Yeah, no, like the thing is, like when we got our stuff converted, I'm sure they were trying to screw us over some way or another, but they didn't know how.
There was a fee of money you have to give to the converter guy.
And was that fee like, "Master, I believe that you have taken 2 steps. This has not made any more progress. Continue your day."
Yeah.
Yes, that.
See what I did there?
I remember when I converted a lot of money into euros, thinking I'd get a lot of money. That was a sad day.
I wanted to like I used to wonder if as a kid like I went to Europe, like put in $100, got back like 100 euros, and then sold them to the Spanish, and then got more money back, then exchanged it. Like, would I actually make more money? And the answer is no. You're just basically passing money from different versions.
True.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you do. It doesn't make
Exactly.
money. It just wastes time.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't help. It's just cool.
And is
So how
that
about
not
video
what life
games?
is all about? Wasting time till you die.
That and video games.
Isn't that what video games are all about?
Just passes the time quicker.
Yeah.
Exactly. In the
Yeah,
words of
talk-
Norman Bates, hobbies are not meant to hobbies are meant to pass the time, not fill it. In which video games fill my time, so it's no longer a hobby. I'm officially in a committed relationship to video games.
Well,
Nothing wrong with
hope
that.
that works out for you.
Have you played Mega Man?
Yes.
Good.
I have.
Good.
We had a Mega Man discussion before you got in here, actually.
Uh,
I don't know how you still like Mega Man 4 that much, because honestly, I that's gotta be the worst of the original 6.
Like honestly, the reason I like
Isn't it?
Mega Man 4 so much is just because it's more balanced than the previous 3 installments.
Even though it's got the
It
Mega
is?
Buster in it.
Yeah, like, I mean, granted, all the bosses aren't difficult, but, like, all the weapons have a practical application, in my opinion. But, I mean, the other problem is you can go just as well without the Mega Buster. Like, for example, in Mega Man 1, pretty much having the the elect weapon was the best way to go. Mega Man 2, clearly metal blades, though I prefer quick boomerang, personally. Mega Man 3, the metal, or the pretty much shadow blades. Yeah. Mega Man 4, like, there's really no weapon that's, better than the rest, but also, I guess there's no weapon that's particularly good, that great. Mega Man 5 might have been the worst offender of that, but I think it had the best story of the original. So
Mega Man 5 is really easy, I will admit, but I think it's probably it's not the most fun, but it's a lot of fun. It
probably has my favorite soundtrack in the original.
Mega Man 5 was the one that introduced like Dr. Croissant or whatever, right?
No, Dr. Croissant is in Mega Man 4. Dr. Croissant.
Dr. Croissant. That's better than Dr. Cocksack or whatever his name.
Dr. Cossack. Okay, sorry. I'm playing. This is going to sound really dumb, but I'm playing Mega Man 4 blind, so try not to spoil it.
Yeah, don't say anything about the end stuff, at least.
His real name is Dr. Cox.
Chicken balls.
Anyhow.
Chicken ball.
Yeah, well,
I've only beaten Mega Man X.
And
I only played Mega Man X and Mega Man X2.
Yeah, go Mega Man X2.
Yeah, go Mega Man Battle Network.
Oh God, are you?
Yeah.
Liam's the only one buying
Go
those
Mega
games.
Man anime.
Wait, dude, you're actually in a Battle Network?
No one's
What?
really into Battle Network.
I don't think anyone is.
I liked Battle Network.
Yeah,
I hate you so much.
and you're the one reason they won't stop making those games.
We need a counter for every time Liam says that.
Okay, 6 Scope is.
Oh yeah, K6 Scope 2.
He did like all.
Oh yeah.
Rome Mithril also is kind of a big offender, but I do like the Mega Man Battle Network series as a standalone title. Like how they just called it like Battle Network, and instead of Mega Man had some generic character named like Rook.
Yeah,
Bob.
that's a good name.
We need a guy named Bob.
Like
That'll do.
just call him Rookman or something like that. Like Mega Man Battle Network would
Ruffman.
Yeah, it would have been such a fantastic series, but since they smacked Mega Man's name on it, it kind of really sucks.
Well, that's kind of par for the course with Capcom, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Mega Man Legends probably would have been better received had it not been Mega Man Legends. Had it just been Legends and the main character's name was Mugumun.
No, it was still really well received of a game. I
still love Mega Man Legends, but, like, critics don't.
Well, I wouldn't even say that I love it. I think it's an interesting game. It's got a lot of faults to it.
I really do love it. I love the dungeons. I love the weapon combinations. I think it's one of the first truly brilliant games.
I'm just not a huge fan of, like, the early 3D platforming type games like that. Not that it's, like, really platforming type of game, but, like, just early 3D games.
I mean, but I think it was, like, the first time I'd ever seen a game that was, like, truly brilliant in its execution. Like, I mean, I played Ocarina of Time, and of course that was brilliant. But the brilliance more or less came from having just a fantastic story and being such an immersive experience. I think Mega Man Legends is pretty average on its own, but it's surprisingly brilliant in the way it executes things and the way it pulls things off, and beyond atmospheres that suck you in very easily, met with totally optional but a lot of fun side quests. I mean, it truly is the Ocarina of Time of the PlayStation 1. Granted, that's also it's more or less the Skyward Sword of the PlayStation 1. It's good, but it's really good.
If I may, I was taking it upon myself to play Ocarina of Time with the exact least possible amount of work. So I avoid all the side quest shit. I hate side quests.
I mean, that's the other problem with Majora's Mask is if you're not into side quests, you play
God! That's the thing. At least with Majora's Mask, they make the side quests rewarding. What do I get in? Like, you get a mask, like the bunny hood, freaking beautiful.
You know, like in Ocarina of Time, like what do you get for collecting 100 Sculptures? 200 rupees.
It's like,
Cue
it's not really worth it.
Cue the scream for me.
I don't know.
It's
Who
fake.
here has played Master Quest?
I've never finished Master Quest, but I played it.
I've tampered with it. I
beat the water temple on the plane, but then the guy beside me started throwing up, so I'm like, I guess I'm not water templing anymore.
Yeah, the first time I played that, I decided to do it as a 3-heart run and make an LP of it.
Cool.
It worked quite well.
The water temple is actually in that game is actually rather easy in comparison.
Oh yeah, I'm doing it right now. It's not that bad.
Because I know Ocarina of Time like the back of my hand. I've played it. For a game like that, to play it through 35 times.
Yeah, like to play it through. Like
actually...
when I say I played through Ocarina of Time like 100 times, people think it's totally natural. Like I say I played through like Metroid Other M even just like 5 times, and everyone's like, no.
Yeah.
I played Ocarina of Time. Water Temple never confuses me. No Temple.
I think Water Temple, since I played it so much, is actually probably one of my favorites in the game.
I agree.
I just practiced
and music are actually really good.
Yeah, like once you figure it out, it's actually probably one of the smartest dungeons in the game.
Really,
I still don't really like it that much.
I mean,
seems like it's a lot of.
there's still that tedium issue. Like that's the thing is there's still the tedium issue, but it's still pretty good.
I think my favorite would probably be. Oh, maybe the Shadow.
I do like
Like-
Shadow Temple.
I like the ambience of
I
it.
hate the Shadow Temple because it gave me one of my only deaths in my Let's Play.
Jim
My
and
favorite-
Jerry.
Jim and motherfucking Jerry.
Wait.
I go on the boat, and then the two Stalfos that come down on the boat. I'm toying with them. I'm not going to fight them because every time I've ever played that game, if I jump off the boat, they stay on the boat, and then the boat goes down, and they die no matter what. Now,
Yeah,
there's
did
one
they jump
time
off? That
he
happens
jumped
sometimes.
off,
Yeah.
killed me, and I'm like, are you kidding me? This is like the only death I've ever had.
Deku Nut spam. That's what I do.
Well, I could
Yeah, like,
kill him.
honestly-
I could kill him fine. It was just
Honestly, I think my least favorite is actually the Spear Temple.
I like the idea behind it.
I mean, I
Yeah,
like
I
the
like
idea, like, that Desert Colossus, but that music gets on my nerves. And I do like the music, like, when I'm listening to it on my own, but the problem is it loops, for probably one of the most tedious dungeons in the game.
Master Quest of that place is kind of confusing, though.
Yeah, no,
it's
but,
forced
like,
to
the
lose.
worst part is, like, when you're in it, like, and I love the atmosphere, and I love, actually, I mean, like, I don't hate it, obviously, like, I don't hate anything about Ocarina of Time, but it's my least favorite, like, but the one problem is, like, I'll just be playing or I'll be doing something, and all of a sudden I'll just hear, like, and I'll just be like, oh god, it's that part again. And, like, that
don't
loop
like
is
the-
only, like, 30 seconds long,
You
so...
don't like the 64-bit Shanai?
No, dude, I love the Muslim chanting version of the original, Fire
Yeah, that horrified me. I was terrified when I heard that.
Oh my god, like I hear it I hear it in my nightmares sometimes. Like I seriously just hear Allah.
I have that on my iPhone.
You actually have that version of the song on your iPhone. That's pretty sick.
I know
I just
everything
downloaded an
about
entire soundtrack.
I mean, like, hold on, I'm gonna read the contents of my iPhone to you guys, and you'll be pretty upset. Like,
If it's
your music?
dubstep, you can leave now.
no, I hate dubstep. Don't worry.
Thank you. Good. Nice.
There
I
better
hate
be some
dubstep, but it
there.
works so nicely with my highlight of the weeks that I'm starting.
Yeah, no, your highlight of the weeks have dubstep, and that's the only reason I'm just kind of like meh. But they're not bad, obviously.
I don't make it like super loud though.
Like at least you don't have like dubstep that's like drop the bass. Whoa,
Here comes the drop. Bow.
There-
Here comes the storm.
No, like, and every drop always has like the most random chords. So it'll just be like, Mortal Kombat, blah, 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 and it's just like,
I
oh my God.
love the Mortal Kombat song though. That's so much fun.
Well, everyone loves the Mortal Kombat song, but when it's used in dubstep, it just sounds cheesy.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, wow.
Same with Sandstorm. I don't know how many bajillions of times I heard that.
I like the people who have like the worst speakers ever, like to drive through and like their Geo through town, blasting that, and it's like, really? Really?
It's like, would you mind not being like a fag for like 5 seconds? Sorry, I shouldn't use that word.
Can I just roll down your window? I just want to punch you in the face a couple dozen times.
Yeah, like it's sort of like that's almost the new Gangnam Style, which is like to show how
Gangnam Style.
are like, and I don't mind Gangnam Style. I think it's pretty funny, but like it's sort of
Not
like
bad.
now become to show how in you are. Like play that song, and it's
I
just
just like the guy humping in the elevator. That's really the best part.
Yeah.
No, that's why Aaron was.
so like when he screams at those two women's asses, I always laugh. There's like a picture of Kim Jong in North Korea, and then PSY in South Korea, and it's like mirrored.
The scary part is that actually had to be filmed, so that was a thing that actually happened. That's what I think whenever I see something really weird. I'm like, this actually happened.
Yeah, no, like the thing is, I was watching Team America, and I remember, and I got to the uncensored version of the sex scene, that's now on Netflix, and I'm just like, someone actually had to make the puppets fuck each other. Like, someone actually had to do that.
It's slightly uncomfortable to think like that, but it's also kind of interesting.
That's a Trey
No,
Parker,
like,
Matt
just,
Stone
when
thing, for sure.
Like, when you think of, like, in a horror movie, like,
Yeah.
when someone's getting cut up, you're like, someone had to do those effects. Like, when you're watching, like a romantic comedy and there's, like, a naked scene, like, someone actually had to get naked for that. And that mindset alone just makes you, like, wonder, makes it either funnier or more disturbing. Which, I mean, depending on what kind of thing you're watching, could be the effect they're going for.
What you're
Now you're just making me think back to some of the porn I've seen. Someone actually did
Orgasmo. Orgasmo is all you need to see.
Titty Slickers 3.
The
Which raises the question: do pornos really need sequels?
No.
You know what I actually
Yeah.
find funny is that I was on like some forum and this guy was talking about like what's the worst story you've ever seen, and this guy cited some porn called like something the Lech or something the
Backdoor
Lecher, I
Sluts
think it's
9.
called.
Not Backdoor Sluts 9.
Yeah.
I was watching
But
this
basically,
Screen
yeah.
Cast. Sorry.
Well, what's Backdoor Sluts 9? It makes Naughty Nurses 7 look like Sexy Sluts 2.
I forget what that's from.
South Park.
Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings, trying to get the
Oh,
tape
that was
up.
the best one. So
Which
good.
one were they? That's probably my favorite episode in the series.
Oh no, my favorite South Park by far is medicinal fried chicken. When
Oh yeah, no, like that scene isn't even as funny without like that friggin' like bwomp 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 like that.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
obviously the music that makes it. It's the music that makes most things.
Yeah, sometimes,
like
It's music that makes video
it's kind of
games.
funny is you Slender, that the whole big, scary game. In the game, if you beat it twice, you can unlock $20 mode, where instead of every time you see Slender or Slender Man, it's like static and screaming. It's just a rap song that comes on. It's like, give me $20, give me.
yeah,
give me
like
20.
well the joke actually comes from Marble Hornets, which was in one of the To the Arc videos for an ambient sound effect. They used a rap song, which was "Give me $20," like that rap song, and they distorted it so heavily that it was almost unrecognizable. And then some guy who was a dedicated fan, and his dad somehow worked in the music business, he actually got him. He did it himself, and that happened. It's pretty awesome.
Hey.
There's a story.
Yeah, so that's the joke now. But I mean, the thing about Slender is that like the secret to it not being scary, turn your sound down.
Yeah,
Really.
it's not even scary with the
Like
sound.
what's funny is that I've discovered that even works with fricking with
Yours, man.
Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
Yeah, you can really change the tone of a game by the
Like
music.
the thing is like games that like Resident Evil or something like that are naturally unnerving because they're survival horror based. Like that doesn't work.
Yeah, the sound
even
doesn't
if
work in
you-
Silent Hill Blind.
Yeah.
Honestly, even if you turn down the music in Majora's Mask, it would still be creepy and terrifying.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is like
Yeah,
it's like
damn
it's sort of like
moon.
watching Eraserhead. There's just ambience. Like
Oh yeah, that's. Yeah.
if you turn down the music in Majora's Mask, it's actually more terrifying because it's just ambience. Like.
It's like the Ben story all over again.
Ben,
No, okay.
Liam Ben.
There's actually a video on YouTube called Kirby is a fucking monster, and it's literally like taking Kirby but adding like blood curdling sound effects, and it's
Well, if you've ever seen like the series There Will Be Brawl, the Kirby and
Yeah, I've
that,
seen it, yeah.
Oh my god, that's a creepy Kirby, but I love it.
yeah. Anyway, so my phone is now charged, so I can now read you the list of music that's on my phone, and you will be either saddened or just.
I'm already sad.
I'm pretty sad. This is good.
Yeah.
I mean, this
Wow, we're
is
this.
disappointing.
We're naturally
Quite a
sad group of
Friday.
people. Go
I'm
ahead.
kind of happy
You don't
because I
have
have
to try very hard.
I have hockey in a bit here, so I'm kind of happy.
You have hockey?
I do.
Fuck you.
Dude's from Canada. If he didn't play hockey, he'd be a
Well,
heathen.
Liam's from.
I did play hockey when I was a kid, so
Even I
Brofist.
played hockey when I was a kid.
Whoa. There's a lot of
Yeah.
hockey going on around here.
No, I got a hockey game at 10:45. That'll go on for an hour and a half
Hey.
why you go to hockey so late?
because that's when. It
Why
gets-
you no go to hockey practice?
Because we don't practice.
How
Just
dare
We're
you?
just hockey.
Dude, you practice to be perfect, so I don't need to practice.
Anyway, yeah, like here's just a few of the gems that are on my phone. Another winter from the Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game soundtrack. Aquarium Parks from Sonic Colors. All versions of Bayonetta's Fly Me to the Moon. The Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg credits theme. All of Milk Can Make It Sweet from Jammer Lammy. Butter Building from Kirby's Epic Yarn. Half the Castlevania soundtrack. Half the Catherine soundtrack. Half of the Parappa the Rapper soundtrack, most of the Devil May Cry soundtrack, most of Sonic Unleashed soundtrack, God Hand credits theme, and then a whole bunch of musicals, Mega Man Network Transmission soundtrack, a lot of Toho. I have a lot of Mega Mari on my phone, and the theme song to Game Theory, and that's about it. Also, a lot of George Watsky. I love George Watsky.
Yeah, George Watsky. He's good. I have the entire Banjo Kazooie, DK64, and
Did you get the original CD that came packaged with the game when it was first promoted.
What game?
Skyward Sword?
Banjo-Kazooie?
Yeah, like they actually had the like cut recording or whatever. It's like the studio cut version of all the songs that came with the cartridge. And anyone who bought, yes,
I don't actually like. What are you talking about for Banjo-Kazooie?
yeah, like anyone who had,
I don't own Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
I never had it.
like anyone who got the Nintendo Power video of Banjo-Kazooie, they could actually, like, I guess enter a code at GameStop or something, or like tell it to the cashiers, and they got like a free promotional CD, and it had all the music, even like the cutscene tracks.
Cool.
Yeah.
I still have that. I should go see if that works.
All right, well, we're coming towards the end of the night, and at the end of the night, we always do the 10 questions, which
I see.
made famous by Bernard Pivot, famous French television host. Anyhow, they say these at the end of Inside the Actors Studio, if you've ever seen that show.
I have, yeah.
Okay.
But, I mean, I don't know what your 10 questions consist of yet, so...
Well, they're the 10 questions that he always asks at the end of the show. They're very, like, Rorschach kind of test questions.
Okay, yeah,
so.
it's like, you know,
Watchmen?
like... Yeah.
Not Watchmen-related questions, but...
Watchmen's a hard...
It's like they're questions where don't think about it too hard, just kind of say the first thing that comes to your
Just say
head.
the first thing. Do you mind?
Mark.
Load runner! Load runner! Like,
Jackal.
Load Runner and Jackal. Load Runner,
No.
not so much. Jackal, all day long. And
I'm not a big fan of Load Runner either.
anyhow, all right. The first question is, what is your favorite word?
Anti-disestablishmentarianism. I can spell it if you want.
No, that will be fine.
Where
That will be fine. Good word though. Good pick. And what is your least favorite word?
Cunt. I don't like using it.
Yeah, I've heard that one quite a bit actually.
Yeah.
3. What turns you on? Creatively,
What turns-
creatively, spiritually, or emotionally, or sexually, even if you want to go that route.
Horror films get my creative endorphins going. Really good monologues and comedy movies.
All right.
Like, I mean, creatively anyway. I guess sexually, I like glasses. That's really.
So do I.
I like glasses
So do
and I
I.
like big.
So do I.
There you go.
I know which Catherine
Me
you
too.
chose.
Yeah.
You are not allowed to see my wife.
Chihiro.
All right.
Chihiro.
Nice, Paul. Nice.
Dude,
Thank you.
no, we have another word for that. It's called moe. Like
Yeah, that's Mo.
Oh my god. All right.
moe.
All right, you guys. What turns you off?
What turns me off? I guess like a lot of unnecessary gore, unless it's like in No More Heroes or Mad World where it's really funny. Call of Duty, just everything about them. Like if a girl says
There
her
you go.
favorite Call of Duty, no, and children, like creepy children films,
Especially the
me
creepy
out.
children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like no, like when they use like creepy children in games and movies, it scares me. I just don't like it. It's also a cheap scare because like of course children are naturally creepy. Like
Like Stir of Echoes.
yeah,
For sure. All right. Question 5. My favorite question. Many people's favorite question as well. What is your favorite curse word?
fuck. It has so much emphasis.
Can't go wrong with the classic.
You really can't go wrong with a classic. Like if I had to choose one that's a little bit more off kilter, I'd go tits. Like just because tits also has a lot of emphasis, and you can just like combine it with any word and it becomes funny. Just be like, oh, holy 2 tits in a gravy. That's my friend's favorite when I say that. That never gets old to them.
All right. What's your favorite sound? Oh wait, what sound or noise do you love?
Shoot. You know what I'm actually gonna have to go with? I'm actually gonna have to go with 8-bit like chiptunes. I love chiptunes.
Chiptunes seem to be getting really popular, and I don't even fully understand chiptunes. But
What is it?
Well, the thing is, with the NES and the way chiptunes used to work was they could only have 3 chords, which is why you get so many catchy themes. To make a chord, you have to have 3 notes.
Sure.
So it's so easy to memorize. And now with so much more power, you can make chiptunes with like 10 chords during one moment. So that's why they're getting so popular. It's like it's kind of like taking a dead form of music and making it just the most complicated thing in the world.
I.e. people are hipsters.
Yeah.
need more PBR over here. Anyhow, so question 7: what sound or noise do you hate?
I hate. I hate like vacuums. I don't know what it is about vacuums. I hate them.
He's got a real vendetta for vacuums.
Isn't that
Yeah.
what Toe said?
I can't remember. Did he? Beats me. I don't know. We could ask him.
Maybe.
He's on actually right now, but oh well. Question number 8. I think you've pretty much already summed this one up, but what profession other than your own or what dream job would you like to have or attempt?
Screenwriter, but I guess mainly I'd want to write television more than film, but I wouldn't. I'd rather write like 2 or 3 films and then have a television series.
Okay. What profession would you not like to do?
I would not like to be an Asian prostitute.
That can be a rough... You make a good amount of money, I'd imagine, though.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, like, literally, I just stand on the side of the road and just be like, suck a $5, and like...
The Full Metal
and
Jacket bit works every time.
I learned from the best. I watched Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, no, you watch Stanley Kubrick films in general. That's all you learn from the best right there.
Dude, you learn from the best by watching Stanley Kubrick.
For sure.
That's all you need. I learned how to look menacing from Stanley Kubrick. Like,
All right, and
put your head down, raise your eyebrow, smirk.
the classic Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, just all it's called the Kubrick stare for a reason.
Bracing yourself with the ultra violence.
Ultra combo!
And finally, the last question of the night. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
I'd want him to say, "Thank you so much for keeping your pants all through high school."
Woo!
Because I have once in my life been offered a sexual favor and I turned it down.
Well, that's good. You're only 16. There's a time and place for everything, and that's college.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, and the thing is, I kind of I'm one of those guys who's like the first time needs to be special. So you know.
well, yeah.
Good. That's not a bad thing at all.
Yeah.
So you're a better man than half of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Chances are I've still got that half of me that you're referring to.
half the man I used to be. Anyhow.
I'm half the man I used to be.
Anyhow, that's going to pretty much do it for Friday Night Skype this week.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks
I really
a lot,
appreciate it.
ArmageddonKaosSoul. Really awesome talking
All right.
to you. And
remember to watch me whenever my computer gets back from the shop.
Yeah, everyone go check out his channel. It will be down in the description below, as is usual. Thanks to everyone else for coming out. B-Dude's got to get to a hockey game. Very, very important to him. And you know, Genray's always here. And we love him so very much.
No, you don't. Shut
No,
up.
I do. And
This is not important enough.
no, and Pear Strike and Liam, who are just awesome guys who just like to
Yes.
come in.
I'm sorry I called you Tubby earlier. You're not Tubby.
It's okay. I still hate you.
FNS, making friends
What a
every
first
week.
impression I've made.
Anyhow, all right, everyone. Thanks a lot for listening, and check us out next week. Later on, everyone.
Thank you.
There you go.
See ya.